It's time to get this party started with a delicious Palm Party Punch mocktail, refreshing and powered by the polyphenol antioxidants in Palm Wonderful 100% pomegranate juice. Super easy to make ahead of time. We can make the mix and then we're going to finish with sparkling water and then garnishes when we're ready to serve, either in your cafe, your restaurant, or at home. Let's get started with sampling. I always like to do this because I want to familiarize my palate with the tart, sweet pomegranate juice. Plus, honestly, I really love drinking pomegranate juice. Starts off sweet on the palate, finishes with that beautiful tart. Delicious. So, did you know that Palm Wonderful has 4 times the antioxidants as green tea on the average? And for every 16-ounce bottle of 100% pomegranate juice, it has 4 pressed pomegranates, nothing else, no fillers, and never any added sugar. So let's get started on our first part with this delicious mocktail. So we're going to use a shaker, cocktail shaker. I'm going to add a little bit of ice to it just so that it starts to get my ingredients nice and cold. Then I'm also going to add some ice into my serving glass too. So a little bit of crushed ice just to keep it a little bit chilled. Now in our shaker, we're going to add 1 cup of pomegranate juice. We're going to add some fresh grated ginger, and I'm going to do this right in it. So I have a fresh piece of ginger that I've cut the sides on. I'm going to put my grater right over this, and I'm just going to grate it right in there. And then you just hit it, and it falls in. Oh my gosh, fresh ginger. This is going to make such a difference. I got a little bit in here too. I want to pull that in. There we go. Perfect. And then we're also going to add, I did some fresh squeezed mandarin orange juice. I'm going to add a cup of that. Oh, can't wait. Give that a little bit of a shake. Now, one of the fun things with this mocktail is taking the time to make cool garnishes. So we have some fresh sprigs of rosemary, so we'll put that in there. And then we took the time to freeze, and sorry for using my hands, but to freeze slices of our mandarin orange and then also some blood orange. So we're going to put some of those in there as well. It's almost like a perfect. And we'll add this. We're going to add half of our juice. And this is where it's your choice on if you like something more sparkly or you want something more of a sweeter flavor. We're going to top it off with just a little bit of sparkling water. And then we're going to add 1 more little halo on top for garnish. There you go. Your Palm Party Punch. Enjoy. Hello. It's time to upscale your roasted vegetables with delicious Palm Wonderful pomegranate juice, some tangy goat cheese, and also our Palm Wonderful pistachios. So today we're going to make palm glazed roasted sweet potatoes, kabocha squash, butternut squash, and carrots. We're going to coat it with this delicious pomegranate and honey glaze, and then we're going to garnish it with some goat cheese. So we're going to be working with our sweet potatoes. Now you can also use beets. There's a lot of different vegetables. I'm going to be putting on my cut glove so we're safe in the kitchen. Nobody needs to cut a finger. So with our sweet potatoes, let's cut them. We're going to leave the skin on. I cut both ends off, and we're going to make some really nice, pretty wedges. When I work with carrots, I always like to, especially I'm at high altitude, so my produce sometimes dries out when I roast it, carrots especially. So I boil them first for 3 to 5 minutes, just so they can start to cook through and keep their juices. And then I go ahead, I take them out, I let them cool slightly, add them to my olive oil and salt and pepper, and then I roast them. I find that they come out a little bit better, especially being up here. And then our kabocha squash, one of the things I like to do with that, you know, it tends to be it's a really hard squash. And if you take the whole kabocha squash, cut off either end of it, stab it a few with a skewer, put it in your microwave for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the size of the squash, and it softens it just enough so that you can cut off either end rather easily, and then we can go ahead and make our little French fries. So this is what we're gonna use for the kabocha squash. Again, you can eat the skin because it's delicious. So I'm not gonna continue with that because I already have some done ahead of time. So we have our sweet potatoes and our other vegetables if we're using them. I'm gonna coat them with a little bit of olive oil. Some salt, some fresh cracked pepper, and you know what, if you can, always use fresh cracked pepper. Such a difference it makes. Really have a chance to caramelize. Okay, these are great. Put these in the oven, 425 degrees for 15 minutes. Then we're going to take them out of the oven. We're going to turn them all over so that the other side really caramelizes as well. So while that's happening, we're going to make our pomegranate glaze. Super simple. I've got some fresh organic honey, and then I have some pomegranate juice, 100% Palm Wonderful. Pour a little bit in there. And then we're going to just mix this with a spoon. You can do this if you're working in a restaurant kitchen, put it on your kitchen stove. If you're working at home like I am during these times, we're gonna microwave it. So you're gonna microwave it for about 30 seconds. The honey's gonna melt, and then you're gonna do it, take it out, stir it just like I'm doing, and put it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds. And then you come up with this really delicious, super easy glaze. Now this is a good kitchen hack. Make this ahead of time so it's ready to go. So that way while you're waiting for everything else to roast, you have this ready. So let's check on those vegetables. I'm sure they're great. Here's our lovely sweet potatoes. And our carrots. And our squash. Look how caramelized that is. Isn't that pretty? Very nice. So get your platter ready to go. And we're just going to organize these all on the platter. Garnish this with some goat cheese. Now I find that when the vegetables are really nice and hot, goat cheese starts to melt a little bit. Oh, it's so good. Oh, can't wait to try these. And then of course we're going to add our Palm Wonderful pistachios. If you don't mind, I'm going to use my hands. It's a nice little sprinkle. And last but not least, let's add our glaze. So hopefully you can get a good shot of this. Just drizzle it on top. And there you have delicious roasted vegetables with Palm Wonderful pistachios and a beautiful Palm Wonderful pomegranate juice and honey glaze. Enjoy.